Hey everybody, welcome back to this episode of Elevator Pitch. My name is Joe Ennis. Welcome back. Today, I am talking to Samad Saifudin. Now, Samad is a good friend of mine, and he runs a company called FunnelMarketr. And what Samad does is he goes into businesses and he becomes kind of a fractional CMO, as he likes to say it. And he helps businesses set up funnels and set up giant plans for marketing their business and selling things like courses, products, etc. He does a lot of funnel marketing and he's very, very good at it. And he's an expert when it comes to marketing online. I really enjoyed this episode, and I think what Samad had to say was very, very important for this time that we're in. A lot of people are having to switch to online sales and online marketing, and funnels are a great way to do that. So definitely pay attention to what Samad had to say and enjoy the episode. Hey everybody, welcome back to Elevator Pitch. Today I am joined by FunnelMarketr founder and CEO Samad Saifudin. Samad, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, Joe.
So Samad and I are good friends, and I am very familiar with Samad's work, and he does a great job, and he has taught me personally a lot about not only website design, but just marketing in general. So I'm really excited to have him on today. Samad, tell everyone a little bit about what you do and kind of a little bit more about FunnelMarketr.
Sure. Yeah, I started FunnelMarketr as kind of essentially removing the idea of an agency. I'm all about not the fact of a lot of marketers these days are just kind of doing things. So FunnelMarketr is really obviously kind of focusing on funnel building in general. And my biggest element and what I like to do for a lot of companies is actually act as their fractional CMO. And that's really more my core competency than anything else. I don't really kind of go the agency route of building, whatever websites and landing pages and, having a whole team behind me that just do what, small businesses or medium-sized guys want to do. I'm actually focusing on the core strategy of making a funnel work. And if it doesn't make any sense, I usually will just decline any type of element. Mainly because traffic and getting customers is really all I'm really kind of focusing about.
So, Samad, funnels are kind of becoming more popular with a lot of small businesses. Before, I think it was only really the bigger businesses or the multi-million dollar businesses seem to have funnels, but more and more people are starting to get interested in doing them and using that kind of strategy. What would you say to the people that maybe don't necessarily know a lot about funnels and why they're important in today's market?
Sure. Yeah. Quite simply, guys, the funnel is really what you're servicing or what you're offering a customer. Whatever your business does. Don't get into the technicals of a landing. Like a funnel could have a landing page, and you check out on some particular element depending on the type of business. But I really like to kind of go just to the basics and just really look at the psychology of what your customer is and what it is that they really want and how you're going to serve it up to them. Literally how you're going to showcase the details of what you're actually offering. And I think that's the best way of really putting a funnel. I think a lot of people go into technicals and it turns a lot of people off. And no, I think it's really just, playing on your offer.
So it's really just thinking about what your customers want and how you can deliver it in the best way possible, pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. What are some of the now that you've been running for FunnelMarketr for a while, what are some of the biggest challenges or issues, I guess, that you could see with a lot of businesses that have maybe products or a service they want to sell and they want to set up a funnel? Maybe they've done it incorrectly. What are some of the challenges or issues that you see the most when it comes to businesses creating funnels?
Sure. Yeah, I think a really simple way of putting it is a lot of businesses are saying, hey, we want to market I'll use an example, a medical service or something of that nature, right? Like even if it's a massage, let's just say. So they're going to want to say, hey, we want to get this, like, we want to get people in the door. We want to create leads for our business, right? And we want to use this massage as an example. Typically, what people are looking for is just the simplest way of just like going to a page and, adding that thing into the cart, and hopefully that person's showing up at that medical office's door. And it's not really about that. I think it's really about the whole journey or all the touch points you have. And I think a lot of people just don't really get that particular element. It's not like, hey, oh, great. I got a person that's interested in my service. And there's a lot of frustration from me specifically on like when, that particular client is saying, we got this, lead or an appointment, but they didn't show up. And I usually go into the conversation of, what did you do beforehand to, warm up that particular person who's never been to your, doctor's office, as an example. And that's usually what, a lot of, organizations just don't put a lot of thought into. And we put a lot of effort into educating that's probably the most important element, because, if they don't really have a reason to resonate with you, they're just either they just won't show up, especially if it's not a service that they really necessarily need. It's not an urgent element. It's not like going for being sick or something of that nature. They might just not even become a valuable customer to you, and that's something you really got to focus on.
So what, kind of backing off of that, maybe what would be some maybe some action steps or some simple advice that you would give listeners that maybe do have a funnel and that happens and they lose a lot of potential clients because they're not following up or not warming them up to the business? What are some simple steps that people can take to minimize that?
Yeah, I think being personal, I think in these, literally in this age of marketing, kind of structuring everything just from a corporate logo is actually kind of not as appealing these days. So, a welcome letter, I mean, it sounds very basic, but it actually goes a very long way. As soon as someone signs up for whatever service, and, however you get them to sign up for whatever, item it is, whether it's in person or online, just thanking someone, showing gratitude is key. Showing gratitude from a personal element is also just way more stronger. So I think that's number one. Follow-ups or reminders, whether they are, not really doing it strictly from an email perspective. If you can find a way to opt them in through text messaging, that's kind of golden. I mean, and you and I both know that you probably actually respond to text way more than you do with email because we have so many emails. So sure. I think those are two key components right there.
Cool. I want to go back to kind of off of that. I kind of want to go back to FunnelMarketr. What is FunnelMarketr offering specifically? Like, are you offering the services to get that all in place? I assume so. And then what are some of the other services that you guys are offering specifically that people can, that potentially listeners, like, maybe they're listening to this and they go, oh, I want to do that. I want to do some text message marketing. Is that stuff that you guys offer?
Yeah, we kind of go a la carte for some of those particular elements there. But there's three main elements of FunnelMarketr. One is, again, our fractional CMO, which is kind of how I introduce myself as. That is more of kind of the retainer element. And then I'll go in and, it might not be necessarily us doing the work for you. It would be making sure that, that the strategy is sound, the budgets make sense, all that kind of good stuff. So that's one way of doing it. The a la carte way is definitely more, more on the budget-friendly element of things. And usually, there's just not as many touch points with us, right? Like we won't be on, on demand on Slack or on email with you at all times. You're submitting a ticket and then you're actually checking out with it. So it's kind of how our funnel is working on that element. And that could be anything from Facebook ads to just building out a landing page for your funnel or text messaging, like we just talked about. And then the last way is really kind of a done with you kind of model, where it's kind of a hybrid of the two, right? Like they're not looking for the whole fractional CMO base monthly retainer. They are, it's really meant for like people that already kind of have a marketing manager, but need some elements of digital marketing that might be just way over their head.
Gotcha.
So we're doing it from that perspective of
is that almost, I hate to interrupt, sorry. Is that almost like a consulting type deal? Like you'll consult with their team and show them what to do, or do you guys still, do a lot of work?
More of a training. Yeah, it's consulting / training. Not really doing a lot of work on that particular model.
Cool.
Just showing the examples and showing exactly how to do it.
Cool. That's awesome. Let's see. So what are some of the clients that you guys either enjoy to work with or can work with? Like what you brought up a few examples of, like, I think wedding planners or a dentist office or something. Yeah. So
dentists and medical.
Yeah. Do you guys only work with services? Do you guys work with product-based companies? Who do you guys like to work with?
So, it's funny because a lot of people say niche down, right? Like, especially in the marketing world, they say niche down. I don't really want to niche down. I've been, essentially reinventing myself often. And I think as a marketer, you have to. And I just don't see the value of that, particularly from a strategy perspective. And that's where I, kind of come in, to the bring to the table mostly. So yeah, I mean, if you're a service-based organization that's looking for leads, that's one core competency. Like, we could be doing physical therapists and chiropractors and medical offices and everything of that. But I really go into a lot of the automation. I love the tech of it. So if you're even a software organization or you're doing a digital product, we've been doing a lot of work from that particular element as well. So it kind of runs the gamut.
Cool. Another question back to funnels now that I'm thinking about it. How have you seen businesses shift when it comes to funnels because of the whole COVID situation we're in right now? Has there been a big shift? I feel like, if anything, funnels have just grown because more people are now shopping online and doing things like that than necessarily like going out anywhere. Have you seen any change in how people set up their funnels or how audiences are reacting to funnels?
I think you're going to have to start becoming a little bit more innovative in every particular way possible. So again, going back into the element of, retaining a customer and putting a welcome, setup, right? Trying to get people away from your own website has actually been a key, growth for me. And I've been getting people to go to Amazon, for example, playing off of Kindle and other Amazon products, just because it's just more trustworthy. And people are really scared of giving their email addresses these days. So instead of, the typical route that I think a lot of businesses, especially if, our audience, both of us are kind of in the, Rockville area, it's just a little bit more, I would say kind of a little bit old school, like in the way, right? They don't really go all out on all the marketing elements. It's been an interesting component of really trying to personalize and getting people not to just become a quote unquote lead, but giving them something of very strong value. And actually sending them to Amazon or a particular element like that to, kind of give a welcome gift and things of that nature. So really just rewarding people. Gratitude has been key. And I think that's been very strong because we're in an environment right now with COVID where, who knows what would happen the next day, literally. I mean, we have no idea what's about to happen. So just showing gratitude has been key.
That's really cool. And that's something that I have like a very small experience with funnel marketing in general. And I think that's really a cool idea to just send them somewhere that they already trust instead of trying to necessarily build trust with them first, or build enough trust that they'll, do things like give you their email or pay you directly. But if you can send them somewhere like Amazon, where people are every day already, they are already like, oh, I know what's going on here. I know what I can trust. I know what information they have from me. So that's kind of cool. I never thought of doing something like that or setting up a funnel like that. And obviously you're not sending them to an Amazon product. You're still sending them to your own product that is being sold through Amazon's space.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so it just shows a lot of legitimacy, and it actually establishes a little bit of credibility right away too. So whatever, I mean, honestly, any business could do it. But when you say you have a product on Amazon, whether it's even just an ebook, again, it just makes you just that more credible. So it works really well. And especially with COVID, I mean, what are we all doing right now? It's mostly adding things into the cart on Amazon. So might as well just continue doing that.
That's really cool. I really like that. Samad, thank you so much for coming on. Please let everyone know, how, if they want to get in touch with you or work with you, how they can do that. Plug away. Let everyone know of all your services, books, or anything that you have going on. Please, you have the floor.
For sure. Yeah, no, I think the best way has been either through email or LinkedIn. I feel like LinkedIn has becoming a little bit more saturated, so I don't really look at my messages as often as I used to. But Samad at FunnelMarketr, SAMAD at FunnelMarketr, and that's MARKETR. There is one E missing. The second E is missing there. But yeah, Samad at FunnelMarketr.com is the best way to get in touch.
Cool. And obviously all the links are in the description of this video. If you're listening, audio listeners, it is also in the description wherever you're listening to this. So make sure to reach out to Samad if you're interested in funnel marketing or just wanting to learn more. He is super, super good at what he does, and he's got really, really good ideas, like sending people to Amazon. I would never have thought of that, to be honest, from my funnel marketing expertise, but I don't have a lot. Anyways, Samad, thank you again so much for being here today. This was really fun. Anything you want to say before we head out?
No, definitely just stay proactive, guys. Stay safe.
Cool. Thanks, man. Hey, I want to thank Samad again for coming on today. It was an awesome episode. Remember, if you are new to the show, click that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about the episode. Please, if you're on YouTube, click here for a recommended episode for you, and our latest episode's right up there. Thanks again, everybody.